Hello and welcome to today's session for the Radiant You online retreat. We are so glad that you are here with us today. We're going to be doing an exciting creative process. It's going to help you open doors. So if you ever, don't get started, you're feeling kind of stuck, maybe you get started with a creative project and then find yourself midway through hitting some resistance, like we all do that, right? Then this is perfect for you. It's going to help you get unstuck. And we are joined today by Joyce Vanderlely. Joyce, go ahead, give a quick wave, say hi.
Hi, everybody. I am so happy that you invited me here, Elizabeth. It's a blessing to be here and to be sharing this with you and everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah, super excited to dive in. Let me tell you a little bit more about Joyce. Then we'll take a few deep breaths, and then we'll dive into our creative process today. And just a reminder, as we're getting started, this is creativity for everybody. You'll see the list of Joyce's recommended supplies on the page, but you know what? If you got to steal some crayons from your kids or grab a napkin, like everything's welcome here. You can find a way to do it with what you've got. As usual, I've got my retreat journal and a host of different coloring goodies, so we'll see what happens. So, Joyce Vanderlely is an empowerment guide and dream creator for multi passionate change makers and magical misfits. She helps people to make their mark and achieve more of their dreams and desires. Joyce knows firsthand how to go from chaos to calm and how to rise back up like the mythical phoenix. She uses her personal magic and medicine every day so she can follow her dreams and empower others to do so as well. I'm all about empowering all of us to live our best lives, to live our dreams, to believe that there's possible. So I'm super excited to get to play with Joyce today. It's something super close to my own heart. And she's joining us today from her home in New Zealand. So, before we dive in and hear more about what we're going to be doing and start creating, let's go ahead, take a few deep breaths so we can all just get present here together and get the most out of our time together today. So, I'm inviting you to close your eyes with me for a moment and let's just bring our attention to our breath. So, giving yourself a moment to feel your breath passing in and out of your body. Feeling your chest rising and falling. And now I invite you to notice anything that's been going on before this moment. Anything that might be weighing on you or keeping you from being fully present. Let's take a deep breath in together. And as we exhale, doing our best to let that go. And now noticing anything that's coming in the future, anything on your to-do list, anything that's pulling you ahead of this moment. Let's take a deep breath in together. And as we exhale, letting that go. And now let's take one more deep breath together, breathing in this moment, right here, right now. And whenever you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes. So, welcome, Joyce. I can't wait to hear more about what we're going to be creating today.
Me too. So I say this jokingly. I am a very intuitive creator. So it depends very much on my feeling, my mood on any particular day, what or how I will create. Of course, I have certain ways that are mine, and everybody that does things, creates things, whatever it is, whether it's visual art or music or dishes in the kitchen. You have your own handwriting, basically your own way. So I need to feel into what is going on within me. Having said that, there is a certain red thread that leads through anybody's space of time. So for me, for instance, this year or at this moment, I am busy with a lot of different projects that have come up, that I've created in my head and planned out, or I put down little notes, and so I have so many projects that I wish to create this year, that I wish to bring out this year, that I need portals, I need doors, I need openings to move them through, if you
Mm.
will. So and I'm telling you this in this way just to explain a little bit. I always see my life and my experiences as a journey, as a story, as an adventure. And so if you look at it this way, then you can illustrate your life. You can illustrate whatever goes on in your life. And so when I think about that, I wish for more doors opening, for more portals to be available to me, to move through, to move my energy through, to move my creativity through, to touch more people on the other side, perhaps, of doors or portals, then I will create them. I will draw them. I will put them on little affirmation cards. I will draw them in my journals. I will draw them everywhere, so that I am constantly reminded about these objects or things that I wish to appear in my life. And doing that, it is like the law of attraction. It is a little mindset trick. It helps you reaffirm. It helps you remember. It helps you stay focused. And so even though I'm a very intuitive artist, I do have an anchor point, if you will, and I've learned that being a multi-passionate creative, it's very easy to be very fragmented and constantly tempted by shiny objects left and right and center.
Yes.
To actually make creativity my work, my livelihood, I needed to learn to focus in a certain way, in something that worked for me. And so I've learned to create anchors for myself in my surroundings, in my life, in my spaces, so that I can actually get to reach goals and stay on track. And so and that is, it for me, it's my business, but for others it could be just a goal that somebody sets, or just to finish a project. We don't all have to be creative entrepreneurs to need a little bit of this. And so that is also what I help my clients, my students with, to find ways to, because it's personal, because everybody is unique. So we all need to find our own little way. And so what I'm going to share today is just an idea, something that works for me. And maybe you just find enjoyment out of creating this. Maybe it works for you also at a deeper level. But I also like to invite everybody that is participating to think to themselves, whatever you create, whether it's my thing or somebody else's thing that they share in this summit, look at it at a slightly deeper level and see how you can make use of it, at a deeper or stronger or more meaningful level. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
that
One thing I'm hearing you say is that the process that we're going to be doing today can actually be like maybe a creative way to accomplish some of your goals.
exactly. Yeah.
Different way of looking at it. Like, I mean, a lot of us have been taught, productivity tips or making lists or those things. And hey, you know what? Us creatives, we don't always fit in those boxes. So I'm
Yes.
excited
Yeah.
about this.
Exactly that. Yes. Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, shall we dive in? Or do you want me
Yes,
to keep
that's
going?
good. Yeah, I can go to my work, to my play table. It's not
Yeah.
really work. It's always play, right? It's always play. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we move over there. I may turn this so that I can also see you then.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, cool. So then I can still say hi.
Beautiful.
Okay, so as you see here, so this is like one of the affirmation cards that I have made at the beginning of this year, which really it's a pathway towards a portal. And so we can do something similar. So I've just grabbed a sheet. I know that you can work in journals. I thought it's easier to see when I work on a flat sheet. So I will show you how my thought process a little bit, and then the creative part. Now, if you work on a bigger sheet and you wish to make affirmation cards, for instance, you could do a whole sheet, and this is just like an A4, like a copy paper size, sort of. And then look, you could cut 4 out after, so you can cut them beforehand and have them like this and work on them. Or you can do a bigger sheet and then just, especially if you work more abstract, then you can do like a whole sheet and cut it up later. But of course, you can also do this in your journal, in your sketchbook, whatever, the back of an old box, cardboard box, totally fine. So on my supply list, I have all kinds of things. And as you said earlier, Elizabeth, I am also, just make it work with what you have, whatever you can get from the kids or whatever you can find around the house. You don't have to go out and buy stuff, I have lots of boxes full of collage papers. I just collect them, and I often put them together in like colors. Today, I just felt like, as I said, I'm intuitive. So I just grabbed a lot of text, papers, old patterns, like sewing patterns, book stuff. So I thought we can start with just gluing down some papers and then painting over that, as a collage, as a first layer. Especially if you're not so sure what you're going to do yet, you just need to start. That's the whole thing, right? If your mind is still not at ease and not really certain, like, oh, I don't actually know what I'm going to make, well, just start. It doesn't really matter what you do. Just get that blank page or that blank whatever it is, make a start, make a start. I'm using gel medium. I think in the United States you buy Liquitex often. This one is a French brand. But here in New Zealand, supplies are not that, we don't have a lot of choice. We don't have so much choice as you guys have. So I'm just gluing it down.
And I'm over here just starting with a glue stick. So full permission.
Yeah, glue sticks. Yeah, glue stick is fine too. Whatever, you could even tape it down with masking tape, because that would give something extra. I'll show you. So here, this is just done like that. Now, what if I decide to glue something down just with a masking tape? So masking tape, painter's tape, and you can get it in colors as well if you're more into colors. I keep it a bit neutral here today. Also that, colors is very much, I have to find the end though. This is fun. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So, you can just, or washi tape, But look, if you use your masking tape, then that gives another little extra thing. Washi tape is nice too. You can even use this as feature stuff, Oh, blue is nice. I do have a little bit of blue. So yeah, talking about portals. So one of the things that I have learned, whenever you want to get something to a finish, you don't want to just start, but you also want to finish something. And I hear that so often, that people start something and don't completely finish it. And then there is this inner voice that says, oh, you shouldn't start anything new because this is not finished and that is not finished. And see, you've done it again. And, like all that self-talk. There's so much inner talk that we need to just let go of. Find a way, I always say, find a way to keep yourself excited about the thing that you've started. Maybe sometimes you need a little bit of support, a friend to say hey, let's just do this. Or imagine, you watch a movie and you don't finish it to the end and you don't know how the story ends. if you think about everything that you're doing is like a chapter in a book, I want to read the next chapter, so I need to finish this chapter, right? I need to finish this chapter to know what's going to happen next. So, just fill in your space. And even this, I can cut this in pieces later if I wanted to. And then I'm going to use gesso. Now, if there's anything that I would say buy that, it's gesso. Gesso is like, I'm sure everybody here knows what it is, right? I buy it in bucket loads and refill my old pot. So it's just your plain white gesso. And I grab a brush, a bigger brush.
So I ask people this all the time. I finally got myself some gesso, but my question is, what's the difference between gesso and white paint?
Oh, have you never tried that?
No, I have. I wanted other people to hear the difference too.
Okay, yeah. So gesso is actually a primer. It's the white stuff that they put on canvases before you start to do a painting. So it's not really an acrylic paint. It's matte. First of all, it's matte, and then it has a tooth, what they call a tooth. Mm-hmm. So if you want to see what the difference is really, take, for instance, a piece in your sketchbook or a piece of paper, and you block out one part with white acrylic paint and one part with gesso. And then you dry it or you let it dry. And then you take a colored pencil and write a word or draw lines from left to right. You go from the acrylic over to the gesso, and you'll see the difference, what happens. Because acrylic paint is sort of plasticky and it has this, but a gesso is a surface that you can work on. And acrylic, there are other tricks, of course. There are other tricks. You can put clear gesso over acrylic paint again, and but yeah.
So it's a texture thing.
Well, it's a tooth. It's the tooth that you want, right? It is white, and so we like it. I wouldn't use white acrylic paint here because I want to work on top of this again. I want to be able to draw. I want to be able to write. I want to be able to do whatever I choose. And so if I use acrylic paint, then that's not possible. But if I use gesso, it is. So it's sort of like it gives you a new start. A new start. It gives you a new start. But it also because it is white, or this gesso is white, you can go over your collage and you can make them more of a unity. It just brings them all a little bit together. You can still, depending on how much gesso you put on it, you can still read the words or some of the words. You can still see the patterns underneath. You can also mix in a color. You could. And actually here, like the little corner here is not glued properly. And I have a friend, she also does a lot of collage, and she actually uses it as glue too. Yeah. So there, I am definitely gonna do a portal. So maybe I'm just actually keeping this one big. So if you wanna, if you wanted to cut this into pieces, then just make sure that I've chosen now to keep this one big. So what I'll do is I'll just go and get them. Okay. So I have a couple of pencils that I really love. So I have but they're very tiny. This is a Faber-Castell Pitt pencil, a black one, this one. And this one is, what is this? What brand is this? Oh, here. A Stabilo Marks All pencil. I think you can get, I think I actually get them from the States. So this draws on anything. It's also, you can get them permanent, and you can get them water soluble. So I have got this one water soluble, so it behaves like a watercolor pencil. So I can draw with this, and I'm going to start in the middle. I'm just, I like to just go how it flows through me. Like normally I don't talk so much when I create, right?
Yeah.
So I will hold my pencil at the very end so that I don't go like very like ooh precise, you know. I want this to flow. I want this to be a little bit loose. So I'm just gonna let it happen as it happens. I love spirals. So I'm gonna make this sort of vortexy shape here. And I'm just gonna swirl it around. So that's the other thing that I always say, like people always go like, oh yeah, but you're a really good artist. It's not about that. Hey, it's not about that. I really want everybody to realize that it's not about being a fine artist or anything like that. This is about enjoying the process and feeling the connection with the thing that you're creating and enjoying that. And oftentimes afterwards, reading things from what you've created, you know, it's like, oh, suddenly it clicks, suddenly the meaning or the importance of a mark or something clicks, right?
Mm.
So today, for instance, because I'm here talking with you, radiant you, I feel like radiance is like sunbeams, like, you know, the rays of the sun. So I'm actually gonna not give a not provide a path to this vortex, but I'm actually going to make this like a sun. See, I'm gonna just give these rays. And that's what I mean. It's just intuitive. That's just how I feel, what I feel at this moment, right? And I'm just as I'm drawing, I'm twisting my pencil a little bit, like I roll it as I am drawing these lines, also so that they are not staying so perfect. I don't want perfection. I want perfect imperfection, imperfect perfection. You know, that is really like loosening up, releasing. I turn it upside down, releasing to the energies that want to flow through, and then just being, you know, sitting in, yeah, it's like feeling into that and just, it's like, you know, like you hug a nice rug or, you know, put on your comfortable sweater or something, you know, it's like, oh yeah, you know, like that kind of feeling. That's how I want to feel now. um I am picking my gold. So I've been picking my gold for most of my portals. I'm actually, I feel something different now. So this is the only thing that I splash out on is my gold paint. All my other paints are not so fast, you know, but my gold, I buy even a bigger pot. Iridescent gold fine from Golden Fluid Acrylics. Yeah, you've got it? Yes. Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. Yes.
So any gold I use is that gold because that's the one I really, you know, if you want to treat yourself, go and get Golden Fluid Acrylics, you know, iridescent gold fine. And so I'm going to, as I was talking, I'm actually going to paint that the gold. I'm going to put the gold in here because I sort of feel, and you want to have some water. Water is free. So look what happens. You know, look what happens. So this black pencil will bleed. That's okay. That's okay. You know, it sort of adds to the movement of the lines. So I'm just going to put some gold down into these parts. It actually almost looks like a wheel too, you know. I don't even know how many parts I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 10, only 10. I could have made 12. Then you had one for every month, you know. Sometimes I go like, oh, I made one for every month. Now I haven't. So this is just, and I also use my fingers. And see, you can go over, I'll show you. So you can go over your collage and over your washi tape and all that, and you still see the pattern. You can still see some of the messages. So saying that, I do look at what texts I grab, because there's one thing that I have that I have a thing for is like, if I want to paint something or if I want to create something in a certain mood, I don't want the text to be different, you know? It doesn't have to be exactly, if I'm going to do something about portals and doors, the text doesn't have to be about portals and doors, but I don't want the text to be about something really distressing, you know? So I do look at the mood of the text that I put in, because it's not really that you're going to read the text, you know, but if somebody ever picks up a word, or if you pick up a word that is in the printed text underneath your layers, and it just misses the vibe of the work, then, you know, it's like I feel then it's off, you know. So yeah, it's just a personal thing.
I love. Oh wait, am I muted? No, I'm not. Okay,
No,
I
you're
love also. Like I was just looking at some of the text that showed up, and like one word that's really standing out to me is the word goldfinch.
oh,
So I'm like,
I
oh my
love
god,
that. Everyone's got
like,
gold paint.
yeah, totally. And so now I'm all like, ooh, what messages do goldfinches have for me? I get to look that
Do
up.
you do you have yeah? Do you do that too? Like
I
I have
do.
that too. If I notice something like that in a creation that I'm doing, then I always go in a research mode after. It's like, ooh, what is the extra message of this animal or this thing or this word, or you know, yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah, goldfinch. That's so cool. Sometimes when I see a word like that, like here, this one says simplicity.
Mm,
You can also enhance it and circle it, right?
that's a great idea.
And circle it. And then suddenly this whole thing can grow, like the meaning of a word grows as well, right? So if I go simplicity, then suddenly this whole page becomes about that, you know?
Mm.
So I really, are we going to share this? Like, are people that are doing this, are they going to share their works?
Yeah, absolutely. We have the Radiant You Facebook page, and
Awesome.
yep,
Awesome.
we
Awesome.
love
Yes.
seeing what you make.
Yeah. So please do share and do share what comes up for you and what you find and how you feel, how it makes you feel, right? So even though this now looks like a sun, it's still a portal. It sort of draws me in. I love these spirals because they draw you in, right? Um, I lose time when I'm creating, Elizabeth. So you
So
have
I
to let me.
have to give you the like 15-minute time check, huh?
Hey, is this 15 minutes?
Yeah,
Okay.
it
All
goes
right.
fast, I know.
So I have to finish in 15 minutes. Oh my gosh. So, okay. All right. So anybody that, I actually, in my box, I think I even had a door. So, and butterfly wings. Butterfly wings are always good, right? Butterfly wings are always good to have. I always encourage people to print out a couple of sets of butterfly wings, just in case you need wings. Just in case you need wings. Or doors, you can also start with a print out, or you cut it out from a magazine or something from a door. You could put a door there. Yeah. So that's also something. I had the door. I thought, maybe not. Maybe I'm just stick to my portal. So I'm gonna make a blue portal. I'm gonna make a blue, like I've got what is it? Turquoise, or um yeah. I like verdigris colors, like the how the metal behaves when it ages. So I really like those kind of, and the ocean. So I'm gonna make my portal blue. I'm gonna make it blue. Now, if the color is too strong, if you feel like your color is too strong, the other thing you can do is you can actually add a little bit of gesso to tone it down. We mixed media artists, we use gesso for so many things. You can tone it down. And I'm just following it's almost like a game here, hey, like one of those board games. Choo, into the middle. So I'm not a very precious artist. I like to just create as I said, intuitively, and that just means that I'm not very much like planning out and staying within the lines and all that. I love splatters, or I've taught myself to love that actually. Because the thing is that as I grew as an artist myself, I was trained classically. So I learned all the things like according to the book, you know. And at some point I thought like that doesn't really do it for me. That doesn't really make me happy. I want to enjoy the process more, you know. I don't want to go and focus on the end result and have like, oh, everybody clap, like, oh, that's beautiful. It's not about that, you know. It's about how it makes you feel. That's why I say you don't have to be, you don't have to be an experienced artist at all. You just want to enjoy what you're doing and feeling the message that it brings you, you know. So see, I'm just whatever I'm doing, it's good. You can also write. Writing is cool too. Writing through your work. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just write here. Here's a little image in my background. Here's a little image of a windowsill, and so I'm just gonna write here that. Okay, so here's another thing. If you want to add writing, automatic writing, like quick writing, you can write about anything. So I'm just wanting to add here that we're here together with. So I'm here together. I am here together with Elizabeth, creating for Radiant You. And she just found a goldfinch in her work. What would that mean? See, so now I have texture or pattern that I created in my, you know. So here I can actually write import or things of importance to me. Here, this one says simplicity, so I may write something about simplicity here. I can also do, you saw me add some blue here and some blue there. This sort of looks like the entrance to the vortex. I can also do patterns. I can, again, with just the black pencil, I can just do patterns. I can just make marks. And the marks that you choose, I don't think about them. I'm just doing it now, right? I'm just doing. And the marks that you make later on, that's one of the things that I do is I read art afterwards. I read the meaning or the potential meaning or the message that you have messages in your work. There are messages in your work. There are reasons why you choose a certain pattern or a certain line or a certain color or a certain combination of things together. You can read that back later on. You can find the meaning. And that's so cool. Especially if you then make more than one work. Like if you have your smash book or your journal or sketchbook or whatever, and you have like a series of works, then you can find connections too. You can find the story between the things that you've done, which is really, really cool. And use anything. Like I've got like a skewer here, like just a skewer, and I use the back, stick it in my gesso pot, and I can make patterns. I can make patterns with that, And don't think too long. You have an idea, you make a decision, and you just do it. You just do it. Don't wait too long. Don't go like, oh, is that the good idea there? Should I do that? Or maybe there? No, just go with your first gut instinct.
Yeah, there's always another piece of paper, right?
Also that. Look, and if this turns out in a way that you go like, I'm not too sure whether I like it or not, you can just always rip it apart and use it as the next first layer of collage,
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Then you just use it as a as a collage paper.
I went ahead and I followed your lead. I'm here creating with Joyce, exploring portals opening.
Yes, yes. Because it's also sometimes nice, to go back and then, um, so, like, I don't know about you, but here I write like this, right? It's like I connect all my words together, and oftentimes I can also go back and forth, back and forth. So a lot of times I cannot read all the words back again, but I know the essence of what I've written.
Yeah.
You have that too.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, I can read it now, but
Yeah,
6 months from now, I don't
you
know
may
if I'll
not.
be able to read it.
Yeah. And then maybe you pick up one or two things and then it reminds you back, that it brings you back. It reminds you of it again. So that's what I love. I love art journals for that reason. They're like sacred vessels that keep part of your life, right? They keep part of your experiences and your emotions, and they can keep your secrets.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's almost like code.
So, here's a question. It's
Yeah.
also a little bit of a time check, but I think it's a great place for the question is like, how do you know when it's done?
Oh, well, that's the thing. I mean, you can call it done now, or you can. Usually, I just keep going until I go like, yeah, it's okay for now. It's okay for now. And then sometimes, honestly, sometimes I go back into a journal or whatever, and I'll add a little touch here. I don't know if you've got that. Like at some point, you just need to say it's okay for now,
Yeah.
because as an artist you can always keep going, of course. There's always room for more, but yeah, not all the space, like, again, like I could fill in all these spaces, but I don't have to. you know Maybe it's just enough. Maybe some pieces you just leave open as they are. um what's one other thing I just wanted to share real quick? So
Yeah.
another thing that I like to do with gold is, how you have gold leaf, and I know that a lot of my students, they go like, oh, gold leaf, that's really expensive stuff and all that. Now here is the thing. This is from chocolate. This is
Mm,
from, like, the Ferrero Rocher things.
yeah.
Yeah. So I save them and I smooth them out with a palette knife or a knife or whatever. You can smooth them out, and then you can use them in your collage as well. They're beautiful gold papers. So they're basically free. If you have a chocolate, if you've had a little bit of chocolate, then they're basically for free. So you can add them as well. I sometimes add them into my, that's so cool. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
add. I'm gonna add a little bit. So I want people to realize that you can find interesting things in your house. If you keep your eyes open, just keep your eyes open and think outside of the box. How can I use something in a different way than it's supposed to, than it was made for? So just gold, just a little bit of gold leaf, got a little bit of gold leaf that sometimes you can rip it, you can cut it. I may just add a little thing and stick it here in the middle. I'm just going to put it in the middle of my vortex there. My finger wants to let me there. See, so you can do all kinds of things with that as well. You can maybe add a little bit something like, I do look at composition a little bit, like how does it look in harmony, like in balance, harmony, like is there a certain harmony
Mm.
to the thing. Oh, you have a goldfinch here, so this goldfinch, there's goldfinch, so I'll put a little bit of gold near the goldfinch there. Yeah, yeah.
That.
So yeah, if you think like, oh, I want to add gold, but I don't have gold paint, and I don't know if I really want to buy gold, the special gold paint, then look for chocolate papers and add a little bit of shine to your work that way. But yeah, like this, are we done? Actually, are we in time?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
probably need to be wrapping it up. So I'm gonna share with everybody as we're coming back over here. So this is what I've created. Um, oh, there it is.
Oh, amazing. Oh, I love it. Yes.
Nice.
Oh, it shines. Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Beautiful.
Shines. Thank you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm liking it. I don't know if it's done yet, but it's definitely done for this moment.
Yeah.
And it might be fun to come back in and play when some of the paint has dried. So
Yeah. 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 So
yeah.
yeah.
So thank you so much for being with us and sharing this. And I guess just really quick, if we can, I'd love to share like bring this together. How can you apply creating this portal to like how do I move forward when I feel stuck?
Okay, so I use these kind of creative practices
Yeah.
to
Mm,
calm down and connect with what I wanted to do. So, like for me, it's meditation because I'm not really a very good meditator or whatever how you want to say meditation should be.
yeah.
I always, in the beginning, when I learned about it, it was like, oh gosh, I can't do this because my mind doesn't stop.
Yeah.
My mind keeps going. So I found that if I create, then in a way that's meditation for me. So
Mm,
it connects me with a calm spot within me,
hmm.
and it allows me to just, even though my mind is not completely silent, I connect with the thought, the idea, the dream, the goal that I have. And
Hmm.
so then, and that's why I say oftentimes I don't talk like this
Yeah.
normally. Normally I sit quietly and then I just, it moves through me. But I've been helping enough clients now to be able to show the process so that others can pick it up, right? But this way I will get answers. I will get answers through my creating. As I said, you create and you in this way I connect and I become a conduit of the messages that come through me,
Hmm.
from source energy. I receive the messages and they come through and they come out through my creative process, and then it's like I lose time. I
Yeah.
lose space where I am. I'm just with the creation, and then afterwards I can understand certain things. I say, hey, that's a little guide, that's a little message, that's a little direction that I have been given, that's a little explanation or a clarity or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that is what it does for me. It really opens, like, and if I draw portals and doors and I work with that concept at the moment a lot, that will open the doors for me. And so it is manifesting, it is meditation, it is understanding, getting clarity, getting answers, connecting within, and calming down, because a creative mind can be so busy that it is difficult to calm down.
Yeah.
So it does a lot of things, and so it's healing, and it is supporting, and it is guiding, and it is all that.
Beautiful.
And that can happen for everybody. You just need to begin. You just need to begin. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being with us today and for sharing this practice with us. I'm like checking out my page. I love it. And I can't wait to see what all of you have created. So come on over into the Radiant You Facebook group, share what you created. If you had any like insights come up for you through the creative process, share that as well. We love hearing all of that. And then, real quick before we wrap up, Joyce, I know you have a free gift for everybody. Can you give us just like a quick tell us about your free gift?
Well, it's called Creativity Works
Yeah.
because that's what it does. You just have to trust that creativity works in every layer of your life and work. It can work for you. So this is a download, a free download. where I go through some steps to help you get started with accepting, embracing, bringing creativity into your life and make it work for what you are intending for yourself. So because everybody's dreams are different and everybody's path is different, but you can make it work for you. So my stuff is never cookie cutter, like this is it for everybody, but it will give you the directions and the the ideas to make a start, to make a good start. Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful. Love that. Well, thank you again so much for being with us today, Joyce. And thank you to all of you for prioritizing your creativity and joining us for today's session for the Radiant You Retreat. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on our next session.
Thank
Bye
you so
now.
much. Bye.